How you doing tonight? I thought you'd be a little late getting here, but you're right on time. Thanks for showing up. I'm just reading some of the email that some of you have been asking, and we talked about this on the air, on the Real Talk Network, and I've got all kinds of email from you. Some of you wanting to know what this is all about. One lady says, "Dear Bill, saw you the last time you was on. Where'd you go? Where have you been? And how's it going?" All of those questions we'll try to get to tonight. As usual, this is the Scizone, where things are a little bit different than you normally think about them. And we've got guests that think like that, and they also have opinions. And one of the commercials that we did here, I said, you know, I found myself wanting to say something to the commentator. And if you're out there tonight, they'll put a number up there for you to call, and you can give me a buzz. Tonight, we're going to talk about a lot of things, one of which is my guest later on tonight is Mr. Jim Fitzer. He is Scholars for 911scholars.org. And what I like about Jim, just to bring you up to speed, is that he is academically inclined, and all of the people who have developed opinions about the 9/11 incident, and by the way, all the things that you were told, I'm afraid they're not all as good as they claim they are. Jim and I have been doing a number of shows together on the Real Talk Net, and all of a sudden, it occurred to me that when we do this, I ought to have him with me, and he's agreed to come on tonight. It's late where he is, and we'll get to him a little bit. If you'd like to get in tonight, there's the telephone number on the screen. You can do that. And if you're watching this any other time other than Saturday night, I don't know if that'll be up there or not, but that's the call letter and the telephone number if you want to jump in. Usually we talk about the things that are going on in the world, things that are going bump in the night, UFOs, Bigfoot. Whether you believe it or not, whether you think that psychic phenomena is hocus pocus, it doesn't really make any difference. Whether you believe in it, as I started to say, really doesn't stop it or start it from happening. It's happening to everybody. And never in the history of my life or in the history that I know anything about has it ever been so proliferal. It's everywhere. And we'll get into a lot of that and talk to people who have had the experiences. And if you're out there, we'd like to talk with you. Tonight, to give you some ideas of how wide the topics are here, it's all about you. Sooner or later, what I'm saying may or may not fit your cup of tea. And certainly the views that I express are not that of the sponsors or even the station or any of the help. But after a period of time, they'll come around. And if they don't, well, tough. I'm telling you, things ain't what they seem. When you begin to look at Washington, D.C., for instance, you begin to ask yourself questions, or at least I do. And I ask, what's in it for them? Who stands to gain from it? And I usually wind up following the money to or from the incident. And every bit of that applies to all of it. Those curious marks. My guest, Jim Fitzer, will get into some of that with the 9/11. Another guest, someone else called or emailed and said, will Larry Nichols be on with you? The answer to that right up front is yes, he'll be on with me. I asked Larry if he'd come on. He said absolutely. And if you don't know who Larry Nichols is, he's the gentleman who brought Monica Lewinsky to the forefront and got her to testify. He is the gentleman who helped get Bill Clinton elected in his gubernatorial races. And he's one of the men who knows where all of the skeletons are buried. And over the years, I've come to watch him and listen to him and watch carefully about what he says. He is as accurate a prognosticator or predictor of political events as anybody I have ever met in my life. He wrote a book called The Genie is Out of the Bottle. And the genie truly is out of the bottle if you look at the happenings in D.C. And when you begin to give people, I believe, if you give people enough information, they'll find their own way. They'll begin to make things happen in their time and in their space. And we're going to give you a forum to voice your opinions. A lot of times you find yourself talking back to the television or to the radio if you ride along in a car like I do, and you listen to some of the talk show hosts, you have a chance to go, I don't believe that. Or have you ever wanted to do that? Tonight's your night. You get a chance to do the call of the rile. If somebody has sent you information that you think is important, we'd like to hear about it. Whether it's understandable or not by a lot of other people. I know it's late, and people are going to go, what in the world's he doing? Well, he's here, and this is live. And if you're seeing it any other time, any time other than tonight, it's probably recorded. And for those of you who are watching this on, as I believe it's going to be, on Google, welcome aboard. We're on Channel 38 in Cincinnati, Ohio, and we're here every Saturday night thus far. It's been a long, hard road getting back here to be a part of WBQC and all the things that go on here. Good group. Young, inviting group. Young guys looking at all kinds of information and got a lot of energy. The telephone number, is that up on the screen? Can we put that up on the screen and show the guys at home who might want to be calling? I don't know what this, there it is. It just so happens that the clock is in front of my screen. I can't see I don't know what telephone number I'm using here. The last three digits are 3838. That works for me. But the front, somebody will fix it, I guess. Anyway, you out there tonight, if you're sitting there with nothing to do and the telephone is close by, jump in. It's your turn to be a part of tonight's show. We'd like to have you. Who's going to be the first caller? By the way, this is the premiere show, and the first caller on line 3. Hey, hang on a second here. I put my ear in here. Who have I got on line 3? Eric, are you on the line? Hello? Hello once. He's gone. We'll go to 2 and see who that is. Who have I got there? Don, are you there, sir? Excuse me. Don, are you there? It's still flashing. I'm not getting anything. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll take a break, and we'll get all this booked. And if you're out there, don't go away. Stick around. We got more to do. We'll get to your phone call right after this. I guess we're back. I don't know. I assume we are. Do I go to line 1, 2, or 3? Where do you want me to go? Let's go to Don. I hear he's on line 2. God speaks to me this way. Don, are you there?
Good evening.
How are you doing, Don?
Hi, thanks.
Glad to have you aboard. You're the first caller tonight, Don.
All righty. My question was more about the 911 situation.
Yes.
And I wondered if you had any information on the report from the BBC around that time, just after the incident, concerning the one flight that went into, was supposed to have gone into D.C. The second flight that was supposed to have gone into D.C., the one flight did make it in. But the second flight that was supposed to have gone into D.C. was waylaid by the passengers.
Yes.
Okay, whatever number that was. Except that the BBC reported that night that there was a piece of wreckage about 7 miles away from the rest of the crash scene. I was wondering if you had any information. There was an engine that was found some 10 or 15 miles away from it, and some of the that I happen to know about
and Jim Fitzer, I'll ask him that question again when we get him online here a little bit. But there was an air guardsman. I don't know if you know about this or not. He was given a medal for shooting that plane down.
All righty.
And they found the engine some 15 miles away, and some of the debris field had gone 10, 15, 20 miles.
Right.
That's not the way it happens. They flew it into the ground. I don't believe that.
Yeah.
Not for a minute.
You have to be. I'm going to say something else different.
Please, go ahead.
No, just the BBC was going to say something else, on their own behalf about that. The night or so that it happened there, it kind of speaks to a difference of opinion.
The fact that it even came out is something that you've really got to look at, and you've got to ask questions. To buy the spin that they put on this in a moment, I suggest you go to scholarsfor911.org. Take a look at that, some of the video there.
Just to ask, with the marksman there, was he shooting from the ground, or did he have a plane up there too to shoot from, or how did he shoot it down?
He was he was an Air Force pilot.
Okay.
Air National Guard.
So he was up there with him.
Apparently he did, and he shot him down. They gave him a medal for it.
All righty, all right. That's interesting too. I didn't know that part.
Well, you can look it up. You can look it up online. Just do a Google search, and it's there, man.
Well, again, like I say, I'm not into computers, so I couldn't help you there.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, I appreciate your call. Thanks a lot.
Bye-bye.
Let's go to line 3. Who have I got there?
This is Eric.
This is Eric. Hi, Eric. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing well. I have a question and a comment.
Sure.
I guess it's something personal, but the question is not personal. What do you know about the Kabbalah?
What do I know about the Kabbalah?
Yes, is it factual? Is it true? Is it something that can be relied upon as far as?
I think it's. Turn your television down in the back there.
Okay.
I think the Kabbalah is about mysticism.
Right.
Is it factual? I think it's
Yes,
every
sir.
man for himself when it comes to the Kabbalah. I'm not Jewish. I couldn't tell you the research on it. I have read about it. I have talked to people who are great studiers of it, and here's the point that I make with it. It answered some questions for me. After that, hey, you're on your own. You'll have questions if you got it, and if it answers it for you, I don't care if it's the Kabbalah or a peanut butter sandwich. If it answers questions for you and your spiritual journey, that's all that's necessary.
Okay. I'm having a dilemma about the Kabbalah. For one, my name is Eric, and according to the Kabbalah, macroprosopus, or I guess Adam Cadman, is considered Eric Ampen. I have different numerical equations that such as the number 888, which some people are saying is the numerical equivalent of the name Jesus, and I'm saying that I have that as my birthday, and my name, my middle name being Eric, and other, I guess, spiritual matters that I'm trying to decipher through the Kabbalah and find out if that's something that I should go into as far as, when you have certain things in your life that seem to be pointing in a certain direction, and mine seems to be pointing toward the Kabbalah. I'm trying to figure out if that's something that's worthwhile for me to get into.
It's every man for himself. If it works for you, take advantage of it. If it doesn't, lay it down, get something else. But keep me informed. Let me know what happens to you, Eric. Appreciate it.
Okay, I appreciate your show, and I'm so glad that someone on TV now telling the truth.
Well, we'll be here as long as you are. Take care of yourself. Have a great evening. Better weekend. Who have I got there? Is it Carol on 4? Cheryl. Cheryl, are you there?
Yes, I am.
I don't.
Cheryl.
Okay, Cheryl, speak out. There you are.
I'm sorry.
I got you. Go ahead.
I missed you very much.
Well, I'm glad somebody did. No, thank you. That's very kind.
And I'm glad to see you're back on.
We're glad to be back and looking forward to a whole lot more of it. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Blue Ash.
Blue Ash.
Yeah.
The large city of Blue Ash.
Yeah.
I'll be damned. I wouldn't have known that. Blue Ash, that's that place up there that's got that 40-story high building they're trying to move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I just want to call and say welcome back.
Well, thank you very much. We appreciate it. Thank you, dear.
Okay, bye.
Good night. Line 2, who have I got?
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, this is Don. Glad to meet you.
Don, glad to have you aboard tonight, sir.
Glad to have a local on TV talk about all this. Question for you.
Okay.
You always hear about UFOs in the sky.
Right.
What about the underwater UFOs? You never hear about them, where they're at, and I've noticed over the years there's been an increase on them. Can you kind of speak on that a little?
I can tell you that there were sightings in Florida, and I can't remember the city, but they were purported to have landed or been around the ocean, and then they went underneath. They went back in the ocean. And there are other people that have spoken to that, even written about it. By the way, you can go on Google and do a Google search on that.
Because I personally saw, let me back up and say it this way. I won't say UFO, okay?
All right.
When I was off the coast of Vietnam for 2 years, I was on a small destroyer. And I was looking over the side one evening, and it was almost dark, and we saw this, it was fairly bright light, and it was moving very fast, very peculiar angles, and then just gone, that quick.
Yeah.
And our XO, that was the second command, told us, he said, you're going to see weirder things than that, believe me. And, nothing more was said, but I always wondered about that night.
I can't tell you the number of cases that I had in my file some time ago about guys in Vietnam seeing UFOs.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there was a lot of them.
Oh, believe me, I know that.
in the UFOs, there's some things on the internet with, right now, I was looking at them the other night, with the astronauts. The astronauts taking the time to, they call them Santa Claus now.
Right.
They say, I see Santa Claus at 2 o'clock or whatever. And they're out there, and they've actually, you'll see them on the internet, you see these things make a U-turn.
Yeah.
And I'm going,
yeah,
that's more exciting to me. I don't know if anybody else, but that's more exciting to me than what these guys are lumbering around up there in space doing.
Sure. Well, I think we're in for a rude awakening down the road.
You know what? You probably are onto something, and I have to agree with you. I don't know what I'd do, though, if one of them landed in my backyard. I don't know what the hell I'd do with it.
Well, I'll be honest with you, I think I'd learn how to run real fast,
You got it. Hey, I appreciate the call. Thank you, sir.
Well, good to have you on.
Good to be there, sir.
Bye-bye.
All right, what do you want me to do now? We're out. We'll take a break. Be right back. In here tonight, we'll get right to the phone calls and get to as many of you as we can. At the bottom of the hour, I'm going to bring Jim Fitzer on for a few minutes, let him talk to you. We're going to get some of his viewpoints on 9/11. Let's go first to, been here a while, let's see who's been the longest. Let's go to Al. Al, are you there, sir? Al? I'm sorry, I'm not getting him here. This phone hates me. I think this phone has got... Well, let's try somebody else. Let's go to Michael. Michael, are you there? No, he's not there. Let's go to Pat. Are you there? Well, phone doesn't work. I'm dead. It's all over, but they're shouting now. We'll do sign language, folks. Stay right there. By the way, I can't get to my email, so if you want to send me emails, I'll go out and get them. But it's bill@Scizone.com, but they have one here for me. Is Scizone at WBQC.com. There it is, Scizone at WBQC.com. And if you send an email to that, they will read the question to me or whatever, and we'll try to get you an answer. There's somebody. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. And nobody's talking to me in my head. Honest, I'm hearing these voices. I should have put tinfoil on my head. Maybe that would have helped. I don't know. Anyway, if you're there and you'd like to get in, we've got phone lines. I mean, these phone lines are working fine. I can't talk to anybody, though. Let's try this again. Are you there? Hello? Are you there? I don't think anybody's there. I'm not making contact with them. This is that UFO problem.
I think it's your birthday on 0707.
Oh, man.
That was probably
A birthday cake? Oh, this is... Now, that's a birthday cake. See, if you were down here, we'd have some of this. I don't know how to tell you that. That's good. And there's just nothing else you can say about a cake that's that good. Folks, I'd love to be able to talk to you, but now that my finger's sticky, I won't be able to punch the phone. Tell you what, let's do. Let's just Bill for a couple of minutes and describe what is Happy Birthday, Bill. This is a birthday cake, obviously from moi. Is it my birthday? Yes. How old am I? It ain't going to happen tonight. Anyway, I'm 39 and holding. And Elliot knows all about that. Anyway, somebody's been into my cake. I can see it on the other side on the monitor. Elliot's got his finger in my cake. Anyway, to tell you a little bit about tonight, the Scizone has always been about different things. The strange, the unusual, the different, and that hasn't changed. There wasn't anybody out there looking at it when I started chronicling it some years ago, and I wrote a column for the Cincinnati Enquirer, God knows how many years ago now, but it was all about ESP and psychic phenomena. And as I said earlier, whether you believe in it or not doesn't matter. It is the most fascinating part of life. There's not one of you out there that hasn't thought of somebody or been thinking about them, and the phone rang. Or they tried to get hold of you. Like my phone's doing right now. My cell phone's going nuts. Anyway, that happens, and it's a part of life. Not only that, we've got story after story after story of people trying different ideas, things, and all of a sudden it happens. It happens. They look for an idea, look for a secret or something they're searching for it, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it just evolves. Is there another dimension? Yes. That dimension is as big as you can get, and it's all about you. That dimension, if you will, of time and space, I happen to believe, allows us to move through it. And once in a great while, an individual will get or have an experience that is so profound, it changes their life forever. Lately, there have been in other countries, particularly Latin America, sightings and people communicating with these spaceships. And somebody asked me the other day in an email, said, what do you think they are? And I said, I think they're a conscious. And it may be a living entity. Here's the deal. There are thousands of you out there right now, tonight, living right here in Cincinnati, that have had that UFO experience. You have seen them. You've seen a bright light. And they're here. They're there. Wherever you happen to be, you were a part of it. And having said that, that's what the Scizone has always been about. Not just UFOs, but you in particular. You see, I happen to believe that you are, in fact, the experiment. You're the one that will experiment with it. You're the one that can turn the key to understanding. And it doesn't affect me, it affects you. We're going to do, as we did before when we were on there before, we'll do some experiments right here that'll let you get involved with that other dimension. But before we do that, We'll take a pause in the action right here. Don't go away. Leave your seat belts on. We're coming right back after this. Hey, there we are. We're back already with a whole lot more to come. Let's go back, get these phone calls out of the way, and then we'll go to my guests who are standing by somewhere in the world. Let's go to Pat first. Pat, are you there?
Yes.
Hit it, man.
Okay. Hello. I'd like to know if you know anything about an ancient race of people called Anakims. I was looking on the internet, and there is a site called The Secrets of the Serpent Mound. And in there, they talk about thousands of mounds that were excavated by the Smithsonian Institute, and all of the skeletons in there were over 8 feet tall, and many of the people had double rows of teeth, and some of them also had like 6 fingers and 6 toes. Have you ever heard of that?
I have not heard of it. I did hear about the serpent mounds and their investigation into them, and what I heard was before that had been hushed up, and somebody said there's some stuff there. Apparently what's happened, you have gotten into a later issue, if you will, and apparently you know more about it than anybody else. I haven't heard that.
Well, they did say that the Smithsonian Institute hushed it up. You're absolutely right. And they destroyed as many of those mounds as they could. And from now on, it is illegal to excavate any of these mounds at all. Now, in the Bible, in Genesis 6, it talks about giants, and it also in the Bible talks about people called Anakims, and they were a large, giant race of people.
See there?
And that they were actually annihilated and destroyed off of the face of the earth.
Do we know who destroyed them?
Yes, the Lord did.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to argue with that. Hey, I appreciate the call, Pat. Thanks a bunch, man. Al, are you there? Hello, Al? Hit speaker. They're gone.
Tony?
Tony, are you there, sir?
Tony?
Who have I got? Tony?
Tony?
Okay, Tony, go ahead.
Yes. Yes, sir. I'm a Medicaid patient, and the governor, the congressman, the senator has all lives putting out these books of changing Medicaid and Medicare into HMOs, or they call them MCPs. And when you have a 30-day period of choosing one, underneath them, none of the doctors even accepted the plan. And then in the advertisement under all of them, it said no referral replied. It had 72
Can
hours.
I ask you a question? I need a question here. I have a question. Why are you calling me?
Well, I just want to get it out to the media because I have a lot of medical problems.
I wouldn't argue with you a bit.
I'm being pushed from one end of Cincinnati to another end.
Okay. All right, dear. I appreciate your call, but I got to run. I appreciate you. Thank you, dear.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right? Who have I got there? This is Bill.
Hey, this is Annette from Newport, Kentucky.
All right.
Okay, and, well, we got two steps here. The Anakims are a descendant of the Nephilim, which were the fallen angels who bred with, and actually, the David and Goliath thing. Goliath had a little brother, and he was like 8 foot tall, if you figure out the cubits and all that. He had 6 fingers and 6 toes. Like 24. Anyway.
I guess you could scratch okay. I don't know.
Well, you know. It's
okay.
there. It's in the good book.
Yeah, okay, your guess is as good as mine. Hey, I appreciate it. Thank you. We're getting all the updates here. Hi, I'm Bill. Who have I got? Hello?
Hi, Bill.
Hi there.
It's Mary.
Okay.
I got something for you.
Oh.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Mr. Bill. Happy birthday to you. And with that, my little boy Sammy is just dying to talk to you about UFOs. Here's Sammy.
Hello?
Hi, Sammy.
Hi. I'm a tad bit nervous because this is so amazing to be on here, actually. And I just like to say that I'd like to talk about UFOs. I love UFOs. And I'd like to say that my dad once, he was a cop once a while back.
Yeah.
And he was out on his runs as usual.
Yeah.
And he's just, he sees this glowing light.
Yeah.
I'm not lying.
Yeah.
And he actually sees this thing land. And I'm telling the truth. Right? And then he actually saw something go out, like it had a big head, like a creature, really, like an alien. And this thing was like small, like short little green men.
Yeah.
And it actually was like collecting samples of the ground. Well, you know, I mean, that amazes me with this type of stuff. Well, I'd like to have a question about it. Like, why do you think the government really, you know, like, doesn't want us to know about these creatures? Are they violent or are they not? Are they gentle race?
I really don't know. I would imagine that they're far too intelligent to want to hang out here.
I agree with you there, but I don't really believe I don't think they would actually kill us, because, you know, if they've been here before, maybe they just want to see where we are. Maybe they just want to see how far can we progress. You understand what I mean?
I think so. I think so. Well, listen, I got to run, but I appreciate the call, brother.
Oh, thank you, Bill.
Thank you for being there. We appreciate all of it. Line 4. Alice, go ahead.
Yes, I'm a retired military attorney. I used to work at Wright Pat. I think, didn't you used to say you work for the government yourself?
Did I say I work for the government?
Yes.
Every day.
Okay. Question. Tell me, what do you think about Area 51 and the stuff at Wright Pat?
I don't know much about Wright-Patterson. I can tell you that my experience I went to Area 51, I must have walked for a month, and got up on top of it, and a guy showed up and said, you need to get back in your car, which I didn't have, and go back to wherever the hell you came from, and there's a sign. This was some years ago. They now have a sign, and they will use deadly force. I don't argue with anybody who has a gun, particularly somebody as sincere as these people are. Anyway, there are a lot of people that I've talked to a lot of people who with long lenses have photographed things and lights. I left after I was told to leave. I did what I was told, but I hung around out on the road, and that night I did see lights, lights that I cannot describe as just airplanes taking off and landing. They did some maneuvers that were really exciting. A friend of mine by the name of Ed Fouché, later he was on the show with me years ago, was taken to Area 51 and briefed on some hologram information that they used to produce pictures to confound the public. Do I believe it? Yes. I like Ed. He's a very knowledgeable fellow. Anyway, about Dayton, I don't know all the things going on at Dayton. I don't think they've got a lot left, if they had anything. A lot of covering up for nothing, I guess.
Do you think very many people in our government really know what's going on, like the congressmen, senators, generals, presidents, Department of Defense. Do you think there's a lot of people in our government, or probably not that many people really know what's going on with Area 51 and other things?
You know, they probably know about it. I mean, Jimmy Carter was one. He wanted to do some investigation, and nothing ever happened. That's been my experience. Nothing ever happened. But I appreciate your call.
Thank you.
We'll take a break. Come right back after this. I guess we're back already. Let's go right to the phones and get a hold of Brian. Brian, are you there, sir?
Yeah, how's it going?
Fantastic. Working on the rest of it.
Yeah, what's your take on, the probability of actual existence of alternate life forms?
Alternate life forms? What's my take on it?
Yeah, like aliens and this and that. I mean, wouldn't it be more probable that they do exist than that they don't?
Oh, of course. I don't think there's any question about it. I don't think we can sit here on planet Earth as screwed up as this is and think we're the highest life forms in the universe when we got things flying around out in space we can see. They had to be a hell of a lot smarter than we are just to get there.
And it's stuff that's being documented by people who are out there. And if you take a look in the ancient texts and, religious paintings all through history, if you look in the background of it, always some form of extraterrestrial spacecraft.
Always something going on. Appreciate the call, brother. Thank you. Let's go to Mike. You there?
Yes, sir, I am here.
Hit it.
Okay. UFOs do exist.
Okay, I'm glad to hear that.
Pardon me. The more our government denies it, the more I believe they do exist.
Okay.
Now, do you believe that they are trying to terraform our planet to suit theirs?
No.
Gases and everything.
Why would they?
House gases going on, global warming.
Why would they want it?
Pardon?
Why would they want ours?
Charity work? I don't know. But I think that they are terraforming our planet to suit their needs.
Oh, okay. Well, makes sense to me. What the hell do I know? I'm in Cincinnati.
Warming, something is going on.
If the world was going to end tomorrow, I'd want to be in Cincinnati. They find out about it 3 years after it happens anyway. So says my
friend. I always heard.
Hey, I appreciate the call. Thank you, sir.
All right, sir. Thank you very much. Oh, and Bill?
Yes?
Glad to see someone like you in Cincinnati. The truth will be known by all.
We'll tell them. We'll tell them. Who have I got there?
This is Robin.
Who is it, dear?
Robin.
Okay, go right ahead.
Hello. Happy birthday.
Well, thank you.
I'd like to change the subject a little bit, if you don't mind.
All right.
I'd like to ask your opinion on the super secret, super rich, super powerful secret societies. Such as, I think there's one called Skull and Bones.
Oh, yeah.
Different societies like that, different organizations, if you want.
You know what? I have to tell you something. Since you brought up my favorite organization, a bunch of rich kids dressing up in garb, making up some rituals to watch each other's back and to do all that, I think is a bunch of nonsense. I do think they take it extremely serious, and therefore it's extremely dangerous to elect anybody, anytime, any place, who has a secret organization they belong to. Hence, you've got contracts made by the government, with a one bid, by the way, from somebody who's close to the president. Now, I don't know how that happens, but you can well imagine. People who belong to secret organizations have a tendency to look out for each other. And I don't think for any cause or any shortness of breath that these people give a big rat's behind about you or I. It's all about money. That's all they know. what really gets me and burns me to no end is that every time I see these talking heads on radio or television or whatever they're doing, and they're interviewing these guys, and the first thing out of their mouth is, well, you know, they're raising a lot of money. They're raising more money than so-and-so, and so-and-so's got this much money. Isn't it a shame that we can't get them to talk about health care? Isn't it a shame we can't get an energy policy? Isn't it a shame we can't get anything but all we know how much money they got? I rest my case. Thanks for being there.
Right, thank you.
Let's take a break, put you on hold. We'll come right back to you. Don't go away. We're coming up right after this. Man, time flies when you're having a good time, don't it? We're back with more phone calls, taking your phone calls tonight. My guest, I called them and told them to stand down. You and I are going to talk. It's all about you. That's what we're doing. Let's go to Lee on line 2, I think. There's a line open if you want to jump in. Now's the time, because we're running out of time. We have a great time here, don't we? Isn't this great? Lee, you're there. Lee. Lee, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, my question is about the year 2012. I can't help but I myself am a believer of Jesus Christ, and I cannot look around the world and see what's going on and be, I guess, dumbfounded to understand that time as we know it is like on a...
What's your point? Come on, man, you're running me out of time here. Talk to me.
Do you believe that the end of the world is coming?
Yeah.
Okay.
Next, you're on the air. Lee, go ahead.
All right, Bill.
Yeah.
Okay, real quick. Something that's really disturbed me since I was younger, and I'm 55 now.
I didn't do it. Go ahead.
Do you really think, truthfully, with all the technology and that we have, do you think we ever really went to the moon?
Hell no. Big hell no.
That's what I agree, because when I look back at photographs, if they don't show you too many of them, you look at that, those like staged props.
I'll tell you what, do. Go to, and all of you listening, go get on your computer and go to a funny thing happened on the way to the moon. Go to Google. It's a funny thing happened on the way to the moon. Next week, I'll bring the DVD. I'll play you some parts of it. It is, first off, you got to explain why the astronauts won't lay their hand on a Bible and swear they went. Secondly, you got to explain how, you got to explain this to me. How did you go through the Van Allen belt without turning into a piece of crispy bacon in that tin can?
Right.
And how in the hell did you land it on the moon with Mylar wrapped around the limb and you didn't get it even break? With the kind of compression it was supposed to happen.
Bill, that was the greatest thing that man ever did, and all you have is a president right now saying he hopes we can make it back by 2030.
Oh, Jesus God.
Now, do you think if we went in 1969, what is the holdup?
We didn't go in 1969. We got to figure out how to get through the damn Van Allen belt.
I agree.
You got it, brother. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Who have I got?
Hello, you have Tony.
Hi, Tony. Go ahead.
Yes. Do you believe in the New World Order and...
Do I believe in the New World Order?
Yes, sir.
Well, there's some people out there, some elitists who want me to, but I kind of like the way it is. I like democracy. I like the republic we got. I really don't like New World Order, particularly when a bunch of people named George Bush Jr., Bill Clinton, and all the elitists get together and decide what you and I, the useless eaters of the world, are going to get. And anytime, see, I'm ready to change. I'm ready to do away with all of them.
Me too.
And move a little further out west and put up our tent and start a whole new branch of government.
Well,
I'm neither Democrat nor Republican because look what they've given you till now. Wouldn't it be nice to have an energy policy? Wouldn't it be great to have insurance?
I agree with you totally. If you would come down to the west end of Newport, you would see what is going on. It looks like concentration camps.
Okay.
Jail has 2 guard towers. There's one way in and there's one way out.
They've got concentration camps everywhere, and they're waiting on me to. I'll be the first one in there. When they storm the Bastille, I'll be there. Anyway, you take care. Have a great night.
Love you.
I'm glad somebody does. You're on the air. Hello, once.
Yeah, me?
Yeah, me. Go ahead.
Oh, I ain't listened to you for about a year or something. I lost you on the radio. And I can't believe I'm seeing you. And I used to listen to the Ozone.
There you go.
And people didn't know where the cars was and stuff like that. And I appreciate seeing you again.
We're glad to be here.
Yeah, and I always listen to the show for like 20 years.
You do that.
Thank you.
We're going to give away free stuff some of these days, and when we do, we want you to have it. You take care.
Thank you.
Have a great night.
All right.
I got 30 seconds to wind this up and tell you I've had a wonderful time tonight. The phone lines are full, so don't try to call in. We'll be here next week, same time, same place. And remember this. I hate that. Anyway, remember this. This show is all about you, for you. Join me every week right here on the Scizone. I'm Bill Boshears, the good-looking guy. Anyway, you take care. Have a great weekend. What's left of it, stay safe. Good night and good luck.